I want to share something with you that I've been seeing a lot lately in my work with small business owners. You got really good people. You're paying them fairly, the work is solid, and then one day they just put in their notice. And when you ask why they're leaving, they give you something vague like a better opportunity, career growth, or I'm just trying something new. But I'm going to let you in on something. They actually found the same job and sometimes even the same pay, but they can do it from home. And that commute you didn't think was a big deal, it really was. I run a fully remote HR firm and I talk to business owners every week who are losing people over this and they don't even realize it's happening. So today, I want to walk through what's really going on and why your best people are leaving without telling you the real reason and whether offering remote work actually makes sense for your business. Because I know you're probably wondering, should I even be considering this? So let's talk about it. Here's what's happening that you might not be aware of. Some of your best people are quietly looking, and not because they're unhappy with you. They actually like working for you, but they're seeing job postings for the same role, doing what they're doing now, except it says remote or hybrid. And they're thinking, well, why am I still driving every day? And the reason they're not coming to you first, a few things. One, they don't want to seem ungrateful. You've been really good to them. They know that you're trying and they don't want to put you in a tough spot. Number two, they don't think you'll say yes because maybe someone asked before and it didn't go anywhere because when they look over, that person's still here and they haven't worked remote since. Or maybe your handbook says something vague like, we offer flexible arrangements, but there's no actual process for requesting it. So they assume it's not really on the table. And then three, this is a really big one. They know that if they ask and you say no, they're going to feel stuck. It's going to get real weird, real awkward very fast. So instead, they just quietly look for something else. And by the time they give notice, they've already made their decision. So when you sit down for the exit interview and ask, what happened? They're not going to say, oh, well, I wanted to work from home and you wouldn't let me. They're going to say something polite that doesn't burn that bridge. And you're going to walk away thinking, I had no idea they were unhappy. And honestly, they weren't unhappy. They just found someone who gave them about 10 hours a week of their life back. So when you think about that, the next step might be hiring. So let's talk about hiring because this doesn't just affect the people you have, it actually affects the people you're trying to get as well. Right now, just sharing a little bit of data, remote jobs are getting about 3 times more applicants than in office roles. So when you post a job and it says in office, here's what is happening on the job seeker side. Someone finds your posting, they read the description. They think, oh, well, this sounds great. They scroll down and they scroll down, they're reading it, they're feeling it. And then they see location is in office and the tab is closed. They've moved on. They don't email you to ask about flexibility. They're just going to go to the next job posting. So you're not just losing the people you already have, you're losing access to candidates you're never going to see. The person who's really great at what they do, but might live an hour away, the experienced person who can't do the strict 9 to 5 because they've got family responsibilities, or the person that has the exact skills you need but just isn't willing to commute anymore. Meanwhile, your competitors who are offering even a little flexibility, they're interviewing from a completely different pool. You might be both fishing in the same pond, but they've got access to a whole other side and you're only working with half. So if you're wondering why is it so hard to find good people right now, that actually may be a huge part of it. And I don't want to assume, but you probably might be thinking, well, I can't go fully remote. My business doesn't work that way. And that's fine. The remote work may not work for every single business model and it doesn't have to. But if you can offer something, you should offer something. Because right now, if you're offering nothing, you're going to keep losing people. So let me give you a few options that don't require you to blow up your entire operation. Okay. Let's walk through it. Number one, simple hybrid. Pick your in office days. Let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Everybody's in. Mondays and Fridays are remote, and that's it. You still get your in office time for collaboration and necessary in person meetings because that's what it should be for. But you've just given 2 days back to people without a commute. Option number two is earn flexibility. This may be best for the business owner who has a little bit of trouble with letting go before someone has proven that they can manage remote work. So maybe after 90 days and they've shown they can do the job well, they become eligible to work remote a couple of days a week. Now it's something people work towards, and it gives you time to make sure they can actually manage working from home. Option number three is role based. So, again, not every job can be remote, and I get it. But be honest about which roles actually need to be on site. Like, if someone's day is answering emails, attending Zoom calls, creating spreadsheets, or managing projects, that is remote work. You're just making them do it at your office. So you can create two categories: roles that have to be on site because they're either customer facing or require specific equipment, and roles that are remote eligible, and then offer either remote or hybrid for the ones that do qualify. You don't have to do the same thing for everyone. You just need to do something. Start somewhere if you can. Because whatever you decide, you do need to make it clear. So that means writing it down, putting it in a policy, putting it in your handbook, on your job postings, because just saying we're flexible without specifics doesn't mean anything. Flexible how? Under what conditions? How do I qualify? If you can't answer these questions, you're not offering flexibility. You're leaving it vague and maybe hoping people just don't ask. Okay. So, okay, Jasmine, what if I say yes and it doesn't work out? That's a fair question because that's a concern that a lot of business owners have. Here's how you build in protection. Your policy should say something like this: remote work arrangements are available to eligible employees and are subject to performance expectations and business needs. This is a privilege that can be adjusted or revoked if performance declines or business requirements change. And then layer it with some expectations. Remote employees need to be available during core business hours. Define what your core business hours are. Responsive to communication within a reasonable time frame. Define a reasonable time frame, and then be present for all scheduled meetings. So now you set the ground rules. If someone isn't holding up their end, you can address it. You haven't given away all of your leverage. You've given yourself and your team more options. So here's where we are. Your best people may be quietly looking for work somewhere else. And when they leave, you're going to be frustrated because you probably would have said yes if they just asked. They didn't ask because they didn't think you'd say yes. And the reason they didn't think you'd say yes is because you haven't said it yet. And as small business leaders, it is your responsibility and your job to make it clear. I'm not recommending you go fully remote tomorrow, but I do encourage you to think about it because the companies that are offering even a little flexibility aren't plagued by the same barriers in recruitment and retention that those who require on site work only may be struggling with. They're not watching their best people leave for jobs that are exactly the same except for the commute. Your people aren't asking you to be the most progressive employer in the world. They are just asking you to acknowledge that the commute matters because it does. And if you're not sure where to start, I put together a simple resource to help you think through this. A few policy models that you can adapt with language that protects you while giving your team what they're looking for. It's your business and you can rewrite the rules. This is Work Rules Rewritten. I'm Jasmine with HR Compliance Partners. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.